Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Review for February 14th, 2020. An op-ed in the Washington Times by 60-plus Chairman James Martin and 60-plus President Saul Anuzis states, AARP, United Healthcare, and CVS keep prescription drug prices higher for seniors. Even under Medicare, older Americans are paying a high price for AARP. Most folks think of AARP as a membership organization that gives older Americans discounts on magazine subscriptions and cell phone plans. In fact, those business lines are secondary to AARP's real source of income, a lucrative partnership with United Healthcare. AARP partners with United Healthcare to offer health insurance plans to its membership. On its face, there's nothing inappropriate about this type of affinity branding. The problem is that United Healthcare, and frankly other insurance companies, have made some decisions at the expense of seniors in the Medicare program, which should run counter to what a seniors-focused advocacy organization endorses. Recent actions by United Healthcare to limit seniors' access to less expensive versions of Medicare drugs calls into question whether the AARP is looking out for older Americans or its own bottom line. During the past 3 years, President Trump has maintained a laser focus on drug prices, causing pharmaceutical companies to respond in a variety of ways, including reducing or, in some instances, halting altogether annual price increases, pledging responsible pricing for new medications, and reducing the price of medicines in certain instances. We would strongly encourage you to read the full op-ed by clicking on the link in the description below. Another op-ed in the Washington Post by Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Administrator Seema Verma states, "No, the Trump administration is not cutting Medicaid." The Trump administration released the Health Adult Opportunity, or HAO, last week, providing a historic level of flexibility for states to design a Medicaid program tailored to the unique needs of their adult beneficiaries, while holding states accountable for improving quality and ensuring access. Unfortunately, it hasn't taken long, even by Washington standards, for talking points with a dubious relationship to reality to start circulating among defenders of the status quo. Shortly after the initiative's release, Vice President Pence encountered an activist doctor at an Iowa diner who confidently claimed the administration had announced, quote, cuts to the Medicaid program. Nothing could be further from the truth. As the Vice President rightly pointed out, no doubt remembering the 18 laborious months he spent navigating the labyrinth-like federal waiver process as Indiana governor, states deserve the flexibility they need to deliver health care. That's what HAO will deliver. Let me be clear. Fear-mongering notwithstanding, HAO does not cut Medicaid funding. This optional demonstration continues federal funding to states based on their historical spending with a reasonable growth rate. Every state, either through the Children's Health Insurance Program or an existing 1115 waiver, already operates portions of their programs under a fixed budget of federal funding. And in the case of unforeseen events outside of the state's control, such as an economic downturn or public health emergency, the HAO guidance specifically allows for adjustments. Again, we would strongly encourage you to read the full op-ed by clicking on the link in the description below. And finally, the Washington Examiner reports, Trump breaks New Hampshire record for voter turnout for any incumbent president. Turnout for voters supporting President Trump in New Hampshire surpassed the state record for that of any incumbent president over the last 40 years. Trump earned more than 110,000 votes in the state's Republican primary on Tuesday, more than double the previous record set by former President Barack Obama, who received just over 49,000 votes in 2012. The last Republican presidential incumbent, George W. Bush, got 52,962 votes in the New Hampshire primary in 2004. His share of the vote also approached the record set for incumbent presidents by former President Ronald Reagan in 1984. With 98% of the precincts reporting in, the president had 85% of the vote, just below Reagan's 86.43% record. New Hampshire's Republican governor predicts that Trump will cruise to victory in the state's general election this fall after narrowly losing it to Hillary Clinton in 2016. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Review for February 14th, 2020. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.